Ariel Helwani seems to be on the same page as many in the MMA world right now that maybe, just maybe, Jon Jones is actually scared of Tom Aspinall. Helwani points out a very telling timeline. After dominating Stipe, Jones could have walked away from the sport on top, yet he said he still had more to give, that his career wasn't done. But now, with Aspinall clearly next in line and the fans demanding that fight, Jon's tone has shifted. Suddenly, he's talking retirement again. Ariel doesn't mince words. He says if Jones had bowed out right after the Stipe win, there wouldn't be much to debate, but ducking the Aspinall fight casts a shadow over his final chapter. It's not just about unfinished business, it's about what it says to fans. That after beating legends and reigning for over a decade, the one guy Jon never wanted to face was Tom Aspinall, and that could absolutely leave a stain on his legacy. What makes it worse is how long this whole situation has dragged on. It's been over 6 months since Jones defended his belt, and in that time, Aspinall didn't just sit around. He defended his interim title, proving he's not just a placeholder. The division has kept moving, but Jones still hasn't locked in a date, and that prolonged silence is only fueling the idea that he's avoiding the challenge.
Jon Jones would have retired in New York in November, right? Madison Square Garden, after beating Stipe. None of this would be a thing. He'll explain it, he'll spin it in some way, shape, or form, and he is right. As I've said, this doesn't affect what he did in 2011, 2013, 2014. It can't, it shouldn't. But when the story is finally written, this will be the last chapter of his fight career. The last chapter of his fight career is he moved up to heavyweight. He fought Ciryl Gane. He waited a very long time to fight a much older Stipe Miocic. And then when there was a true, legitimate number one guy, interim champion, not just another guy, a guy that the whole world wanted to see fight him, he said, "Peace, I'm out of here." Now, in an alternate universe, I would love to know if it was like a Stipe-like fighter. Does he say the same? Is he saying goodbye because it's Tom? We'll never know the answer to that question. We'll never know.
Daniel Cormier didn't hold back when reacting to Ilia Topuria's decision to split from his longtime team just a month out from his title fight at UFC 317. DC said it's far from ideal and, frankly, a bit risky. To walk away from the people who helped mold him from a raw, unproven prospect into an undefeated world champion and one of the sport's biggest stars, all this right before the biggest fight of his career? That's a bold move. Even if El Matador feels like a change was needed, DC questioned the timing. Switching camps and relocating to Madrid while you're finalizing your prep for someone like Charles Oliveira. That's dangerous territory. And speaking of Oliveira, that's a puzzle no one solves easily. Topuria may have the momentum, the confidence, and the skills, but Charles has seen it all. Former champ, most finishes in UFC history, and dangerous everywhere the fight goes. On paper, it's fireworks. Ilya's crisp boxing and pressure versus Oliveira's dynamic striking and lethal submissions. UFC 317 isn't just another title fight, it's a chance for Topuria to capture the second belt. But with camp changes looming large, the question is, will that decision sharpen him or haunt him?
He and his team are kind of going in separate directions just because of the schedule. They said it's no bad blood. I really don't know how at this point, a month before what will be your opportunity to win a second title, how much effect that will have on Team Topuria. Honestly, if I'm Ilya, I'm still just using those guys. Because even if I have to do my training camp with someone else, I know that those guys know me so well that if they can get with me for a week, 2 weeks, we are still so aligned, especially if there's no bad blood. We're still so aligned that we will get through the fight and we will still be able to coexist. Not only coexist, but also we gel. Right, this is a team that got this guy from a young man to being 16-0 or 17-0 UFC champion, beating two of the greatest featherweights of all time. To have that familiarity is very important to an athlete.
Henry Cejudo just revealed shocking details of the infamous brawl between Kamaru Usman and Belal Muhammad during their heated podcast. Up until now, the only thing we knew was that there had been some sort of altercation, but now we know a lot more. Henry revealed who swung first, who got slapped, and how many people were involved, every bit of it. Ahead of UFC 315, Belal was scheduled to join Kamaru and Henry on the Pound for Pound podcast, but things didn't go according to plan. The episode was mysteriously scrapped. snapped, and now we finally know why. In a recent appearance on the Jackson podcast, Cejudo revealed shocking behind-the-scenes details. Usman swung first. It wasn't just a heated argument, it turned physical. According to Triple C, a full-on fistfight broke out between the two former champions right there on set. Henry said he tried to play peacemaker, stuck between the two as tensions exploded, and now the rivalry is more real than ever. Usman had already warned that if he saw Belal in Montreal earlier this month, there would be trouble. Now we know that wasn't just talk. The bad blood is very real, and it's personal.
There was already drama like coming in, so once they came in, and then I was kind of like the mediator there, like, hey, what's up, Belal? What do you think of Kamaru? What do you think of Belal? And then shit just started kind of escalating. You know what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden, I think Kamaru said it's on site, and then Belal said, well, it's on site. What's up? And then Kamaru gets up, and then so legit, there's a scuffle there, dude. I was in the middle. I had a fucking sprained ankle. I was trying to help like the whole production crew, like everybody kind of started coming in. Kamaru started it, but I could see why. There was about a good maybe 8 people there, and like 4 was trying to get on Belal, and then but the hands were thrown.
Was Ali there?
Slaps were given.
Was Ali there? The manager?
He wasn't.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, no, Ali would have checked both of them.
Bro, it's a wild scene when 2 MMA fighters like fighting like no rules, like just out of anger.
Joaquin Buckley believes June 14th is his moment to break through. He's set to face former champ Kamaru Usman at UFC Atlanta, and in his eyes, a dominant win over one of the greatest welterweights in UFC history is the only stamp he needs to punch his ticket to a title shot. Buckley's not blind to the chaos at 170. In a recent interview with Perry Punch, he broke it down clearly. It's a 3-man race. Sean Brady just choked out Leon Edwards in stunning fashion. Ian Gary made waves against Carlos Prates. Now it's Buckley's turn to leave his mark, and he's coming in with heat, riding a 6-fight win streak that includes violent statement wins over Stephen Thompson, Vicente Luque, and most recently a controversial doctor stoppage TKO against Colby Covington. This showdown with Usman, ranked number 5, is Buckley's shot to leapfrog the pack and make his case undeniable.